Ladies and gentlemen, today, May the 4th, is our National Day of Remembrance. 76 years ago, the guns of World War II fell silent in the Netherlands. The oppressor had been expelled, and the wave of idealism, faith and hope swept over our country in May 1945. We were, once again, a free people. In the years since 1945, the word freedom has become a key value in our world. A key value that guarantees that ours is the world that is open to all men and women, regardless race, creed, orientation or beliefs. In our world, you can be what you want to be, say what you want to say, act and do as you please. Freedom means to us an unlimited opportunity to pursue one's own happiness. Nothing is allowed to stand in that way. It is, many feel, an almost absolute right, one's own freedom. But in fact, I would argue that freedom is something entirely different than one's absolute right. It is first and foremost an obligation, a personal obligation, to all others. Because with freedom comes responsibility, respect and solidarity. Responsibility for the consequence of our actions. Respect for the opinion of others. Solidarity with those who are vulnerable and need our protection and care. In short, freedom is not about me or you, it's about us. Freedom is something which is shared with others, always. Freedom is sharing and caring, always. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest threat to our freedom is indifference. Therefore, we need to reaffirm this particular key value time and again, and do so loudly, passionately and eloquently. For freedom is not just a gift. It is foremost an obligation, one that is passed on from one generation to another, to protect and to preserve. This is why we celebrate Remembrance Day each year on May the 4th. To remember, to share and to pledge. I thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm General Jörg Vollmer, Commander JFC Brunsum, and today I had the honor to lay down rest together with the Mayor van der Riet and with Colonel Jastrzemski, the garrison commander of the US forces in Benelux. And we did it here at two very special places, the public cemetery and the British Fallen Cemetery. There are always these special days where we remember our fallen comrades, and it is good to reflect for a moment. But it's not only to remember those who have sacrificed their lives for the freedom of Europe and here in the Netherlands. It's also to reflect on all of our comrades serving for peace all over the world in all those days and years which came after World War II. But today is also a very sad day because it allows me to remember Ruud Schoten, who was a good friend of our headquarters, and it was good to have him alongside us when we had the remembrances, when we worked together, and I know that his heart felt with all those soldiers buried here at these special places. And it's time to say farewell to him as well. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Colonel James Jastrzemski, and I'm honored to be standing here today to represent the U.S. Army Garrison Benelux as we join the city of Brunsum in paying our respect to those who have fallen before us. War, past or present, touches us all, soldiers and civilian, Dutch, Belgian, German, British or American. Yet after decades of peace, it is hard to comprehend the realities of the Second World War for those who did not experience it, and even harder to explain for those who did. As the World War II generation ages, there are becoming less and less witnesses to share their stories. And there are less people to remind us of why we should do everything we can to prevent wars from happening. And if they do, remind us of how to respond with courage and commitment. Therefore, our duty of memory is critical in helping others understand what happened during World War II. It is a story that should be told. It is a story that must be told. It is the story of a husband who was separated from his wife, never to see her again. The story of a woman who was forced to decide which 10 people got to live. The story of a little girl who loved to write, but would never become a journalist. It is also a story of sacrifice and bravery, of secret messages woven into the laundry, of sharing a life-saving slice of bread. And it is a story of brave men and women standing together with common values as a united front against the evils of peril, to enable peace and prosperity for future generations. In the words of Dutch author Godfried Bomans, the best way to commemorate the fallen is to do what they died for. I'm honored to attend today's remembrance ceremony among allies and friends who make it a duty to express their gratitude year after year for those brave patriots who have come before us. And I'm honored to carry their legacy forward. 76 years after the end of the war, the graves at these cemeteries remind us that freedom is not free, and that freedom is something we must defend and protect together, lest we forget.
In Flanders fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep. Through poppies grow in Flanders fields.